One of my all-time favorite TV shows, and happens to be a sports show, is Dwayne Johnson's, aka The Rock, The Ballers, right? The football show. That show was so dope for so many reasons, from the business side, the entertainment, the media side, how they brought in esports and gaming, but also like some of the controversial stuff that happened, like the NFL allegations, the NCAA controversy that was thrown in there. I feel like they tried to tackle a lot of interesting issues.
Right.
And I feel like maybe that plus some other reasons why they got canceled. But I'm curious your thoughts, because I know we both just watched it again recently. And I want to know what you think about that show.
I thought there were a couple really cool concepts in there. The first thing is that they didn't just talk about football, right? Like, even though the show's, it's been canceled now for a while, but like bringing it back to like, they brought in extreme sports, they brought in gaming. Like, it was a whole different angle of sports that typically isn't televised than what we see, number one. Number two, it was really interesting for me to see, I don't know how to put this in a nice way, but like the male ego as a sports player or as an athlete. Like, it seems like you're just invincible, right? You don't want to believe or think that you're injured or that you're hurt. Like, The Rock is in there popping pills like 24/7, like just because he can't admit that he has something wrong with his health. And like, I don't know if that was like an indirect wake-up call for male athletes out there, that like, hey, if something's wrong with you, don't mask it, like go and get help, right? Like, there was the athlete in there who had mental health issues, and he was battling that with bipolar. And like, okay, don't mask that, like go get help. There's no shame for that. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed about, right?
I totally agree.
I think that was an underlying theme. I don't know if that was intentional, but I feel like that was pretty transparent to me.
I really liked how they showed the male struggle, like Ricky Jarrett, how you talk, though Denzel Washington's son, like his claim to fame was being Ricky Jarrett in the show, and like he battled so many things, right, from like the allegations with girls and to like the mental health stuff and just like his off-court struggles. And I feel like they were really trying to shine a light on like some of the real life situations that these athletes go through, right? Every day they're having some crazy experiences, and like you said, they think they're invincible, which I thought was really interesting, because even though he had all these issues, Ricky Jarrett somehow kept bouncing back. One after that, he could get another break. Right. But I feel like that's actually how it is for some of these athletes. And I like that they took it further, and like they were controversial with the Rock stuff, but the NCAA stuff was the most interesting, because basically, like in the show, if you haven't seen it, the Rock tries to take down the NCAA by himself.
Right.
Ray tries to go after them for like a bunch of different things, but basically just saying like it's a corrupt organization, which I thought was very interesting at that time.
Yeah.
And I personally feel like a part of the reason why the show was taken down.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, I think there's a lot of different themes for it, right? Like the mental side of an athlete, the physical side, even the financial side, right?
Yes.
Like the fact that they like, or some of them just want to blow their money right away. It's kind of like, that is a very real thing that happens.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, how can you manage that? How can you avoid it? Again, not sure if that was intentional or if that was just for the show, but there's a lot of different takeaways for sure from that show.
I think the other thing I really liked was how they tried to, and that's actually a question for anyone still watching here, is like they introduced esports, and I believe his name was Warren, played for the Dallas Cowboys in the show. I can't forget his name, but you know what I'm talking about, right? He was like, he was gonna get paid $90 million on his new contract, but he's like, no, I want to become an esports player in League of Legends, which is really interesting, because that's when esports started popping off. And the question I have, and why I bring it up, is like, do you think that's actually possible? Do you think that a player could now be a multi-sport athlete, but with esports being one?
I don't see why not. I feel like if you find that balance, and let's say if your body's hurting you now as a football player and you want to transition to something else, you don't need to sacrifice your body to play esports. You just need your mind and you need practice, right? So I feel like, why not? Absolutely.
I totally agree. I just feel like so many of them are already playing Fortnite, Call of Duty, and gaming, so you can naturally get your reps in, your practice in. Every sport has an off season, so you can take advantage then in summertime. I feel like that would be cool for us to see, like an athlete that we idolize then go play esports. Like, I feel like that'd just be such a dope crossover.
I'm not too sure if there is one out there. If there is, I really want to know.
If there is, I would love to know. But anyways, like with this show, if you've seen Ballers, comment, let us know below. But also tell us if there's another cool sports show that you think that we should check out, because we're always trying to binge something new, right?